This wasn't a turning point the way wars usually have them. There was no dramatic collapse, no single catastrophic defeat, no moment where the map suddenly changed color. Instead, something worse happened. Vladimir Putin's war hit a new low, and the fallout didn't stay contained. It started spreading. When people hear new low, they expect shock, more destruction, more chaos, more visible loss. But this wasn't louder, it was quieter. A new low doesn't mean the war became more violent, it means it became less sustainable. Systems that were already strained slipped another step downward. Margins narrowed again. Recovery became harder. Nothing snapped, but everything weakened. Every long war has phases: momentum, adjustment, stalemate, attrition. What makes this moment dangerous is where it sits. This wasn't the chaos of early fighting. It wasn't the shock of major reversals. This was the moment where erosion crossed a threshold, where decline became self-sustaining. From here on, the war doesn't need bad decisions to get worse. It just needs time. On the surface, the war machine still looks intact. Troops are still deployed. Weapons still fire. Defensive lines still exist. But movement doesn't equal control. Across the battlefield, components are working, just not together. Logistics lag behind tempo. Command trails reality. Units adapt unevenly. That gap between motion and control is where wars start to decay. Losses didn't suddenly spike. What changed was what those losses removed. Earlier in the war, losses were absorbed. Experience stayed in the system. Knowledge circulated. Now experience drains faster than it's replaced. New units arrive without cohesion. Leadership gaps widen. Lessons get relearned, slowly and at higher cost. The army doesn't shrink, it thins, and thin systems fail under pressure. Modern war punishes delay, and here, delay has become structural. Information arrives late. Orders reflect outdated conditions. Adjustments lag behind movement. Command still exists, but it no longer controls tempo. That's critical, because once command reacts instead of directs, every action costs more and achieves less. This is where the new low reveals itself. The effects don't stay localized. Strain in one sector pulls resources from another. Fatigue in frontline units ripples backward. Logistics failures compound. What once could be isolated now spreads automatically. That's when wars stop being managed and start managing the people fighting them. Morale doesn't collapse in a moment. It erodes when belief fades. Belief that effort matters. Belief that sacrifice leads somewhere. Belief that holding the line has purpose. This year, that belief has been harder to maintain. Rotations slow. Relief becomes uncertain. The future looks longer than the present can sustain. When belief thins, discipline follows. This isn't a problem force can fix. More troops don't restore confidence. More equipment doesn't rebuild coordination. More orders don't shorten decision cycles. Systemic decline requires time, trust, and rest. Pressure removes all three. Once a war reaches this stage, improvement becomes slower than deterioration. That's the trap. This doesn't mean the war ends tomorrow, but it does mean the direction is set. The balance has shifted away from momentum and toward endurance. And right now, Russia is being forced to fight a war where endurance matters more than force, while its systems struggle to sustain either. Putin's war didn't hit a new low because everything collapsed. It hit a new low because the fallout no longer stays contained. And once decline starts spreading, stopping it becomes far harder than starting it.